Welcome to a new episode of A Town Hall Different. I am Sir Chi.
And I'm Sarah.
And
Today's going to be very special.
Very special.
Very
You
special.
know, we always say it's very special.
But it is. No two episodes is alike. Have you noticed?
True.
Every episode has its own spice.
Yeah.
We've never repeated the same vibe.
Nope.
And it's not going to happen today.
Nope.
We have one of the baddest writers in the game.
One of
the baddest creators in the game.
Baddest.
He calls himself a multi-dimensional creative.
Baddest.
It's the journalist, the
Baddest.
revolutionary.
Baddest.
One and only Chinonso The Revolutionary.
Thank you for having me. That's high praise. Well, thank you for having me.
I mean, it's you now.
Yes,
I
That's
don't know
the
where
best
I'm trying
intro
to be.
you've gotten. Right.
Well, I'll say number one.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm happy that it's us that gave it to you first.
Yeah.
We gave you your flowers.
It's a town hall different.
Yeah, period.
Yeah. But we give everybody their flowers.
I mean,
Or else you can even pluck it.
if you don't deserve your flower, we'll take it
If
away
they're not
from
giving you your flowers, pluck them.
Anyways, today we're going to be talking about traditional media. You do a lot of things, but we're
Yeah.
streamlining this conversation to you as a journalist. First of all, anybody who looks at you with the...
It doesn't look like a journalist.
You don't look like a journalist.
Do
And
you
this
get
one is-
that?
Stereotype.
do you get people say that?
Yeah, I mean, it comes with the job.
And how do you feel when people say that?
Yeah.
That you don't look like
I like to challenge stereotypes because part of being a journalist is standing for your truth. So it's easier to just be who you are.
right.
It's the easiest thing to do. So I just prefer
Yeah, just be you. The world will adjust.
I mean, and his own journalist is not like, not to take it away from anybody who just writes online and whatnot.
Yeah.
He writes for like a print media. So the actual OG journalists that sit down, they
Yeah.
have a desk at work.
They have an editor.
Yeah, they have an
all of
editor,
that.
they have everything. But this particular young man decided to do dreads, put tattoos all over his body.
He looks more of an artist.
Artist, yeah.
than,
I see it as liberal art.
Right.
Writing is an art. So
yeah, true.
if the old school journalism didn't like that, dress code, you could just come with your own vibe.
Yeah.
And it's working. I mean, it's easier to get into conversations with artists, other musicians, and they don't need to know you're a musician. They just see you as an artist. They connect on that vibe.
Yeah.
So it's easier to share stories, get insight, and get the whole story. It's not textbook. It's not corporate. It's not stiff.
So are you saying now that like your look and your expression makes your
it
journalism job
easier.
easier?
Yeah, it makes it feel real. Makes it feel very authentic. Because you're in a community where your personality needs to align with everybody else.
Yeah, because like,
Your
the artists
personality
see
has to come
themselves
across,
in you, or that they can relate. I don't know if that's a word.
Exactly. They just feel less stuck up when they're around people who look like them.
Yeah, true.
Who think like them, who can understand them. Basically, it's just, and I like it. To be honest, it's actually cool.
So what if you end up what if they move you now at work from being an entertainment writer to like doing health? Would you start looking like a doctor?
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still my personality at the end of the day. I've written stories on
Health.
sports. I've done health. It doesn't matter. Anyone who you're speaking to just needs to hear what you have to say. So it's easier to connect. It's very easy to connect when you already have your topics, your focus. I don't think the looks needs to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's more about the skill, yeah?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this.
Sorry, I want to ask something.
Okay.
How did you discover your passion for writing?
It was in a lecture hall, honestly.
How do you mean?
So I had this lecturer, his name is Declan. He was a CNN award-winning journalist, back in the day. So he used to come to our school then in
What school is that?
Mass Comm department at Unilag. So he used to give talks, talk about his time. So there was one particular story where he just pulled up an Al-Jazeera piece he did. And that was it for me. I just knew that there was something really avant-garde about writing, about long-form writing, actually. That was the first time I heard about multimedia journalism, and I just fell in love with it.
Wow. So before uni, you were not like particularly a writer? Because you hear people say, I used to write poems as a child. Yeah. You never did anything
Before
like
uni,
that?
my full focus was film. I actually just loved film. Like, I grew up on Nollywood.
As an actor or a filmmaker?
A film director, actually. I've always seen myself making movies. I still imagine I would do it in the future. But I mean, life has brought me here, and I'm enjoying the journey.
Wow. Very interesting.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So now, we work on radio and we hear things like, who still listens to radio?
Everybody.
before radio was a big deal, print media
Print,
was
yeah.
a
Yeah,
thing.
so-
You would see men. I remember as a child, you would see grown-up men at the bus stop reading
Arguing about
headlines.
headlines.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
still
do
do,
to
yeah.
today.
They still do.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like print is an ageless medium.
Yep.
So it's a conversation shaper. There was this time when I think it had to do with a political story around COVID or something like that. All the foreign tabloids were just capturing people gathered at newsstands locally. So when you go there, you hear the first-hand gist. Even if you're not going there, the news that even flies from newsstands is more authentic, more contextualized than the news you would see on TV,
On TV.
or social media, because this is like real life analysis. If you've ever been at the newsstand, you will see that it's
Yes.
I've
It's
actually
beyond the
never been.
vibes,
I'm
beyond the
I'll be
I
by
have.
the side, but not
They're
like
arguing.
with them.
Oh, not like this, it be. That is this.
They'll be talking about. I remember them arguing Obasanjo, arguing Atiku, arguing. growing
Yes.
up, and now I'm trying to imagine what
To
that
be
would be
honest,
like.
And they're
every
very
real
passionate.
traditional journalist needs to actually go to a newsstand.
So do you do that?
Yeah, sometimes I just go there, but well, the reality is not many people like to read anymore. So
Yeah.
most people just like to get it in traffic, get it delivered to their offices or their homes. So if you go to the newsstands these days, it's very empty. I just go there to just like have this direct feel of my work. I just see it there and I'm just happy.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still your work.
Wow, that is interesting.
Tell me,
Yeah.
how did you feel the first time you saw your work on a national newspaper?
Wow, I was speechless. That was even.
Did you cry?
I mean, on two levels. The first level was I was still a student back then, so it was a big deal for me. Like this blood bank thing they do at Luth, they came to school, so it was very exciting. Campus journalist. I was the news editor while I was at the department, so
Oh,
I was always like going to chase after stories with my team. Then
You were
so
hungry for news and had an
Very.
eye
he has
for
a
news.
nose for news.
Oh, sorry, nose for news. If I say eye.
Journalist.
I remember being published on the Nation newspaper then. And I mean, I just started looking at my life differently, like, wow. So you can think about something as an idea, and you look at it here.
Let
Like,
me be this.
and the second time it was on the front pager, and that was during COVID. There was this online beat sessions that DJs and producers were doing as at then. So it was, I'm trying to remember the word
Is
they
it
called
Vessels?
it. Yes, it was a versus, so like a sound clash. So that exactly shaped the story I did. I just wrote it from like the comfort of my bed then. Like nobody can go out. We're all stuck at home.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the new way to enjoy your life. And that just made the front page. I was like, wow,
I did that.
it's real. Yeah.
So when you submitted that story, did you submit it with the mindset that like,
No, I never knew it would make a front page.
wow,
And that was what even shaped my understanding of how to go after news. Because news is what's happening.
Yeah.
News is you documenting history in real time.
Yes.
And so I just knew that, okay, there are different dimensions to it.
So now that you're doing entertainment full time,
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who knows about the Guardian newspaper,
Yeah.
you know Chinonso Ihekire,
And the Guardian Life.
and the Guardian Life magazine, you know Chinonso Ihekire, aka
Yeah.
Chinonso The Revolutionary, is the one responsible for all of that. So think of all of your biggest stars.
and
that have-
my amazing team.
Okay, and his amazing team.
I
Not
love
you
it.
being not
I
you
love
being
the
humble.
music
I love
especially,
it.
yeah.
Not
I
you,
love
not
it.
you being humble.
Yeah.
But we've come here on this show, and even in our personal spaces, we've had conversations about the Afrobeat story is not being documented the right way.
Yeah.
For example, today we were looking at the Billboard list of what's it called?
Greatest Afrobeat song.
Greatest
Yes.
Afrobeat songs on the
In
top
terms
10
of foundation, influence,
Yeah.
and
popularity within Afrobeat.
within the Afrobeat space.
Yeah, and we're looking at the top 10, and some of those songs do not deserve to be on the top 10 of greatest Afrobeat
I mean, bearing in
songs
mind that there were other songs that should have been there.
in the top 10. So as a writer, as somebody who's documenting culture, when you see things like this happen, what goes through your mind?
Well, firstly, I don't like to be upset at the West for how they look at our life and our culture. They actually tap Nigerian journalists. These are brilliant writers. These are people who I understand that they study the game too. They understand the industry as a whole. So if they're putting out a list, trust me, it's an authentic list, but it's still a very political list. So you still have to, sway to the nuances of the West. How do they feel about your list matters a lot. So if we are looking at our local press, making a list like that, yes, you can now start having arguments as to what type of songs were missing. There will always be songs missing.
Okay, but this list
It's always
is right.
political for
This
me.
list covers Afrobeat space.
Yeah.
Why should we be bothered about the Western taste?
Yeah.
Well, Billboard is not a Nigerian tabloid, is it?
Okay, then why are you telling the story?
Why are you
if it's not for
telling the story for the Afrobeat space?
Yeah. If
you're
you're
not
not
going to tell
it
it well.
accurately, why are you telling it?
Well, why aren't you telling it?
Why aren't you telling it? Because he wants to put us
So
in
that's the
trouble.
thing.
The
So,
point is,
no.
on this podcast, we try to tell it. At least in the next 20 years,
My
when
point
people are
is-
looking
Honestly,
at those
I do
kind
not
of things,
think. I always.
we spoke on
I'm
it.
sorry. I do
Okay.
not think that the Nigerian media does not tell our stories.
Absolutely, we do. We
I feel
tell
like
our
we're not
stories.
listening. I feel like we're not paying attention to our narratives. We don't
Explain.
celebrate our narratives.
What
Explain,
We don't
explain.
even feel confident about our narratives and our press.
Okay, are you trying to say that the Nigerian entertainers, the artists, and the Afrobeat scene, which is what we're streamlining it to,
Yeah.
would see an article written about them by a Nigerian journalist and they won't pay mind to it?
Most of them ignore. A lot of them see it as lip service, like we're celebrities rather, and you're meant to write about us.
Should it be
They're
so?
not. Yeah, no, it's not meant to be. It's supposed to be a big deal. Like it's supposed to be a thing of prestige. It's supposed to be something you celebrate, something you share personally to your own fan base.
You know, this reminded me of something on the timeline. Made Kuti calling out the media
Yeah,
for not
telling.
highlighting the success of his
father's
tour. And I'm going to ask for your own
Okay.
your thoughts on that. But I just want to say that people pay for these things. Does he know that?
I don't think he understands or he realizes.
Because even A-list artists like the big three, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not on their team, but I know that they still pay for PR and all. So, what do you think about
I
that?
mean, first of all, building relationships with the media has evolved
Yes.
as of today. So it's okay to just call some people aside, say, hey, check this out, what's up. I don't think it's everything that needs to be like amplified with a certain context. But shout out to Made though. He's actually one of the few musicians that I know that respects the press. But I mean that kind of like that outrage kind of like just shows a deeper level of maybe a lack of attention,
Or emotional intelligence.
Yeah, no, not on his part. I feel like it's a two-way thing. So if I were some other media, I would approach him and say, okay, give us access to your dad. Let's do this story. So sometimes it's just apathy.
But the tour wasn't done in Nigeria, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Exactly. So if the tour wasn't done in Nigeria, why do you think that
The media should
Nigerian
reach out
media
to
should be the
them.
one reaching out to
Shouldn't
you?
they be the one reaching out to
Yeah,
Nigerian media to say,
this is what we're
come
doing
and cover
internationally?
our father is going
Well,
on tour.
because of the acclaim they already have, the Kuti legacy is there. So it's like you don't need to necessarily reach out to the media. Sometimes
So why not get a PR company that is responsible for
Yeah.
this? So they should
Sometimes
reach
we
out
just
for
already
you.
have like an established relationship, so I know what's going on and I just write about it. So many times, like I just reach out to artists themselves, like, oh, I see what you're doing. Can we connect? Let's share this story. Like for instance, this guy touring in Nigeria, Lona.
Yeah.
That's a story that I feel should be really celebrated because it's a feat.
Do you not
Nobody's
think that
doing
it
that.
is?
Yeah, it is.
It is a feat.
It
No,
is.
I'm saying, do you
These are
not
the
think that
stories.
it is being celebrated?
Yes, it is. I mean, in the traditional media scene, Lona should be on front pages right now. If we're actually just looking at this story.
Right. I get what
Yeah.
you're trying to say
So
because
I'm trying to absolve the artists sometimes. Like I don't think they should always bear the brunt, but I feel like that's why they need to understand how to build newer relationships with new PR agencies or maybe new managerial teams that know how to keep the media in touch or
Yeah.
on their tabs. Like
Yeah,
check it out.
I just feel like is calling out the media because they are not telling your story is not the way to go. Because over the years, we've seen how artists don't regard
Yes.
the media. So you get
That one said
so
they.
now that the media knows that they have power,
Yeah.
everybody will use the power that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
get-
because the media in recent times has been overlooked.
Overlooked.
Yeah.
You go abroad sometimes. In Nigeria, you book an interview with an artist. 30 minutes to the interview, they don't show. They
That's
tell you
when
that they tell you that
they're sick.
their tummy hurts.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
food poisoning.
That
We
they're
know
in
you
the
are
hospital.
lying. We know you
Yeah.
are lying.
Yeah.
And these media organizations have made plans for you. You don't regard them, but you won't do that with international media. So the disrespect you will not take to international media, you bring
Yeah.
it back home.
Yeah, that's just the problem. Like, they're not celebrating what they have, and so when political list comes out from the West, they start getting upset. This thing happens every time with the Grammys. It happens every time. So we are pandering too much. I feel like we should just calm down and enjoy what we have at home, and just like pay more attention to us, to the people who are really shaping the stories that matter, because there are certain stories that are just buried under like social media frenzy. We don't even pay good attention to them. These artists don't even amplify it. Some of them you would have to like chase them before they would even share it on social
Yeah.
media. But you would actually go the extra mile
But
just
we
to
see
get
our
those stories.
Nigerian artists when they get like international magazine covers and whatnot.
Yes.
They do
Post it.
collaborations.
It's everywhere.
They
Yeah.
collaborate.
When Nigerians
They post
do
it three
theirs.
times a day on their stories. We
Yeah.
see you.
But then when it's a
Exactly.
Nigerian media outlet, like they suddenly they don't remember how to collaborate. Or
Yeah.
Suddenly they have
collaborations.
like stylized aesthetics. Oh, we can't mess up our page.
Yeah.
I've heard that thing before and I'm just stunned. Like,
For
no.
real, somebody has told
Yeah.
you that before.
We can't mess up our page.
Bombastic
We can't
side
do
eye.
this. We are curating, and I'm like, okay. So these stories that have been written about you, are we at the media supposed to just read them? Don't you think your fans deserve to actually like learn more about you? Because if you see what goes within an interview, it's like a confession booth. Like, we are actually shaping and contextualizing an artist's life.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what motivates you. I'm seeing what
Yeah.
drives you. I'm connecting to your music on a really deeper level. Plus, I'm going to remember everything. It sticks because you're reading.
Yeah.
You're seeing like their world in 7D. So it's different from when you watch a video or watch an interview. You're reading is you're never going to forget it.
And when you read,
Trust
like
me.
you're painting a
Picture.
A very sharp
Of the actual
one.
Yeah.
event.
I still remember articles from when I was younger, when I was reading stuff about Bigiano, like till today.
Wow.
So you can imagine the power of long form
Reading.
text, exactly, especially text. So when I see artists just like undermine the potentials of print media, sometimes I just laugh, because now American artists, I don't want to even specifically say America, but the West in general, they are better than us, like in that regard.
In terms
they
of
celebrate,
print,
they celebrate their storytelling a lot. If you see like a Western artist get a front pager, they're definitely going to share it everywhere. They will buy copies and ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they do that. But here we have artists who are saying, "Oh, we've not granted an
don't.
interview on the boom front for over 5
Or
years."
some will tell you, "Nah, I'm not doing this. Only TV I pay attention to." And you're like, "Are you serious?" Like, so they didn't teach you about permanent record.
But you know the funniest part of it?
Yeah.
The moment their cloud starts dropping,
They remember
you see
Prince.
them coming back.
Yeah.
You see them coming back and lobbying. I know this one is not them say. I know the ones who, in this my small 5 years in this game.
Let's not mention names.
Well, I'm not mentioning names. At least we're not doing that today.
So may I just
I
from
know
you?
somebody in this my small 5 years in this industry that has, like, when the person was really hot, interview time, the person said, "Oh, I don't do local media." Those were their words.
Can you
Now
imagine?
fast forward 2 years later,
They're looking for local media.
your managers are literally begging
Begging.
for you to come. Not even just to like the ones you call quote and unquote the reputable stations, including the ones that people would normally overlook. So it's like, so you know the relevance of these things. You know that people are watching, you know people are reading.
Now tables have turned.
And now tables have turned.
So what I just want to say here is that as an artist, let's just quit the victim blaming, because honestly, the Nigerian media does not owe you shit,
At all.
especially when you don't give them the respect that they deserve.
How do you handle situations like that? Like, I mean, going the extra mile, writing stories for an artist, and then the artist is saying, "Oh, we didn't ask for it.
this
We're not
and
going to
all."
promote." Like, what does that do to you as a journalist?
Trust me, it's very discouraging. I just love to charge it to the game. That's just my own personal mantra. Because for me to go the extra mile for an artist, I have to believe in your sound.
In your sound, yeah.
There's several people that I've been in studios with. I've just attended their camps, been at their events, or been on the sets of their video shoots, and just saw them on a deeper level. I see their work ethic. I see their hustle
Their
spirit.
drive.
I just feel very obliged to tell that story. So if I'm telling you a story, and at the end of the day, you're forgetting all of that just to say, paying it less mind, I'll just leave it for who deserves it and who cares. Because there are certain people who care. So it just works for me to not pay too much mind to such negative
Let's talk about the
energy,
people who care. At least we can
Yeah.
name drop
Yeah.
those ones. That's a positive thing.
Yeah.
3 artists who care.
When it
I'll
comes.
just talk about the 3 artists I've worked with recently.
Okay.
There's a chap called Bray. Now that's an
He's
artist.
super
You're
talented.
the second person talking about this
you
guy
need
on
to-
this podcast. I've not listened
Jesus.
to him.
Now he's
The first time I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to coach you, but the first time I heard Bray,
She doesn't talk like this for a lot of people. So
He's
this Bray, I really
so
need to check
good.
him out.
Yeah, he's good.
he's
Like,
so good.
the futuristic jazz artist.
I love
Oh,
that.
So I like people who have these unorthodox stories. I could really just spend like a whole week immersing myself in your sound. So when it's time to write, do you understand? Like it's free form, it's free flowing. Bray, interestingly, the Kutis, I shared their stories recently, especially Sheo and Femi.
yeah.
So those are 2 people who I admire. They have what I call a bohemian spirit. They don't care about their age or prestige. They regard journalists like people who
Because they
deserve the
know
respect.
they
Yeah.
know the importance of
Of
this.
journalism.
Because
Yeah.
imagine if the pioneer, like the
Yeah.
OG himself, Fela, had disregarded or like journalists and whatnot, who would
Yeah.
tell his
Who
stories?
would tell his story?
It's those people
yeah.
that gave him that legacy today.
Another person I shouldn't fail to mention is M.I. Abaga.
Wow.
And that guy is a connoisseur of art. So I was in his apartment. We were just like sharing his story. He has an album coming soon. So M.I. would make you feel like you're the artist and he's interviewing you. That's just how warm he is. Him and his lovely wife. Both of them have this very warm spirit, and they also have a lot of detail to share. That's one thing I like to look out for when I'm speaking to artists. It reflects media training, so it also reflects experience. But M.I., Bray, the Kutis, who else? I feel like in recent times I've done a lot of people. Like it's just hard to remember. A few.
Yeah.
Talking about
Fola,
M.I.
Yeah.
What did he do now?
So I'm not much of a rap head, but one thing I'd never forget is watching M.I. on the stage at Trace Life.
Wow. How was it?
I was just like, good. Good. I was just like, this man that is, I'm sorry, but he's, and he has so much control,
Yeah.
audacity.
Yeah.
Like, he just steps on stage and is like,
He's not called Mr. Incredible for
As
nothing.
in
You know?
Africa's
like
number one
you can
lyricist.
feel
Like-
the aura.
Yeah. The thing I've realized there with successful people in whatever industry, including the music, is that it did not just fall on your lap by chance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grooming.
Yes.
And not just from people around you. I mean from within. MI would not be MI of today if he was just a guy that you would look at and just remove your eyes.
Yes.
Like he has worked on
On
that
himself,
confidence. He
yes.
has worked on that. So when you see him, you know that, yes, this is a
and he
superstar.
keeps working
Yeah.
on himself.
Every day. Sounds
Every
fresh.
day.
Sounds fresh. That's why he was trying to give us a deep meaning to Charlie Poppy's lyrics.
and that's why you cannot. I'm sorry, you can't compare him to any other person.
Of
he's
course
he's
not.
MI,
Of course
Yeah.
not.
and we don't get two of
Shout out
that.
to M.I., man.
Of course not. Of course not. We're going to talk about like the relevance of print media in today's entertainment, but I think we'd already like touched on that.
Yeah.
I think we'd already touched on that. What would you say has been the most exciting story for you to cover as an entertainment curator, journalist, writer?
It was this story I did in Abuja on the hip hop scene there. So I had to go there. I had to like really physically connect with the artist.
The hip hop
So,
scene, that's like Odumodu people and
Yes,
Is
replay
it-
the
what do you-
collectives.
You know what? I'm glad she said, because like, you know, there was a conversation one time about hip hop in Nigeria, and I saw a comment that talked about how someone said, I'm not going to mention the name. Someone said about how there are big artists, big hip hop heads in Abuja, that Odumodu is not the
number one.
number one. And I felt like it's coming from a hater point of view,
Absolutely.
because you cannot talk about hip hop. He might not be the one that started hip hop itself,
in
but you
Abuja.
you cannot ignore his influence.
And legacy.
He still has influenced it today. That's why I respect that scene, because they understand how to keep that fire burning. these are really self-sustainable artists. They know how to churn out their contents. They know how to like keep the calendar busy year in, year out. So the Abuja hip hop scene, I feel like compared to every other hip hop scene in Nigeria, that's like one of the most active I've seen outside the East. So the East is also number 2.
The East has a huge hip hop scene. That's
Wow.
where Jerick,
yeah.
Aguero, yes.
Aguero, yeah.
Yes.
But I thought that once upon a time, Just used to have, because that's where the likes of Ice Prince, Jesse came out from. So are you saying that Just is no longer as strong as they used to be in the past?
I just feel they don't have enough visibility right now.
Okay.
While I was there was a lot of R&B going on. I heard a lot of musicians singing.
Yeah, Winnie's from Jos.
Winnie's also a very talented artist too.
Even underground artists, a lot of them sing. So there are few who rap, but I feel like they've not like understood how to have a collective image, something that can pop up on the radar faster. Emma is still trying to do something significant in that regard. He has this festival he tries to do every end of year.
In Jos?
Yes, Incredible Music Festival.
Nice.
But I'm hoping that scene amplifies, because, when something that's been booming before booms again, that legacy is fresh.
Yes.
It helps everybody. So
Yeah.
You were going to make a statement about the Abuja hip-hop scene. We didn't let you complete that.
Yeah, I was talking about, I think I already touched on their work ethic and their life and how they are, number one in compared to the other scenes we have in Nigeria and the East. Just to add...
So what's now the difference between the Abuja hip-hop scene and the Eastern hip-hop scene?
I think geography.
Not you trying to be smart.
I think geography, but I feel like they are more collective oriented in Abuja. So they do things as a group.
Together.
Yes, they do things as groups. You have like 5 different collectives there: King Folk, Anti-World Gangsters, Double Energy,
Psycho
CNG,
YP,
Apex Village.
Yeah.
Yes. So all of that just makes them have a distinct personality. Like when you're looking at Abuja rappers, you're looking at a lot of music to touch on. With the East, you're looking at a few
individuals.
Yes, a few prominent figures like Aguero, Jerick, and a lot of other rising acts on that scene, though. Yeah.
Okay.
But they are individual.
We need to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
He was mentioning Aguero and Jerick. This is not to say there are no other artists too. I just need to point out that we already have the likes of Fino, which we know.
Yes.
Like we're talking about new people, so that you don't miss that when you're trying to write that comment.
But then I was gonna say, so for you now, speaking as a journalist who is currently creating what the next generation would read about, the actual authentic stories, which would you say is more important? Talking about the exploiter, because whether we like it or not, what is happening right now in Nigerian music is history being made. By that I mean we have artists who are less than 5 years in the game and they're performing on stage with Coldplay, touring with the biggest artists in the world, getting signed to like major labels. That story, whether the artists are being shitty towards the Nigerian media or not, those stories need to be covered. They need to be covered by us. But at the same time, we also have the up-and-coming guys, the emerging artists who are trying to... Because the next set of Wizkid and Davidos, they've not blown yet. As a journalist, which would you say is a lot more essential to cover right now?
The emerging artists.
Why would you say that?
I feel like as a star, your light will shine even if a lot of people are not trying to look at it.
Yeah.
But for the rising acts, you need to spotlight their personality. Like it's very important to start the conversation when they are already just beginning their careers. Like, okay, personally, I've spoken to a few people who are the onset of their careers, like Bloody Civilian, even most recently First Class. Now these are stories that when
First
you're trying
Class
to
is
tell,
another artist that he's very unique with
very
his branding
Yeah.
and type of music.
Yes. So if you're not shaping stories like that, and you're only focused on people who have already become successful, you're doing a disservice to the whole scene. Like you're not really doing the authentic storytelling. You're not doing real journalism, according to me, because it's not just popular news as news. You need to actually chase stories that matter. That's why I really loved Bray when I heard it. I like him as
He doesn't even sound like a Nigerian.
Yes.
He sounds like this black American.
This guy listens to music, jazz.
Yeah.
He listens
But he's
to music
Nigerian,
from
born in
different
Nigeria?
jazz
I think
traditions.
born in Port Harcourt.
Raised in Port Harcourt,
Yeah.
schooled in Accra, and right now he's making music that's like a meld of different fusions. If you're not talking about that and you're just going to talk about only who won an award or who
was
been nominated for
nominated.
this or who's dating who,
That's
that's not
lazy.
news.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's not
that's not the
news.
real
Do
story.
you get depressed when they ask you to write sensational stories?
I don't even write sensational stories. That's me. I just chose my niche from the jump.
Yeah.
That's why I like to write across different magazines, because if you have a focus that aligns with what I like, it's easier for me to work and just tell a great story.
Story.
So if you don't do sensational stories, are you not worried that maybe somehow, because we were having a conversation with an artist recently one time, and he was saying how, he doesn't think that managers should put their faces out there, like the artists should be the ones, But then nowadays we see journalists, like music journalists, who are building a brand for themselves and putting their whole face and their whole name and their whole,
as they should,
whole image out there. But if you're not chasing like the sensational stories, if you're not coming out to, tell us about the top 10
who is dating who,
top 10 trending songs, do you understand? If you're not doing that kind of thing, so how are you not trying to like build a brand for yourself? And by brand, I mean obviously you're building something different, but I mean a clout brand, if that makes sense.
But I mean, that's if you want a clout brand.
Yeah, that's if you want one.
Yeah, I mean, you can redefine what clout means to you. Okay. So if you're known for, like, if you check American journalism, you will see that some of them actually have video podcasts where they're actually just talking about things that matter. So if you're actually aligning to stories that really matter and you're joining conversations that are shaping music itself, not just controversy, that's a better way to chase clout. So I feel like if you just find the people who matter and communities that would speak to what you speak to, it's a win-win for me. I don't think you have to chase controversy to actually build a good brand as an entertainment journalist now. I feel like controversy is lazy. That's just me.
I also think
it is lazy, and also it's just very easy to catch people with controversy. But the thing is, if you're not doing controversy, the people who would connect to what you're doing would connect to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just about finding your niche and finding your people and finding your audience. And I feel like no matter what it is that you're doing, you'll find your audience.
Yeah. That's why I watch a town hall.
Hey, look at, and that's why I read Nonso's what's it called?
Guardian music.
I mean, it's a town hall different.
Period. Anyways, we're gonna bring you back.
Okay.
On this scene for us to talk about a lot of things, but unfortunately, just because of time, because I'd have really liked us to touch on this whole pass the torch statements that was made when the timeline. When they said Wizkid and Davido
are not passing
the torch to the next generation. Maybe we should just talk on that like in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Do you think they are not?
Yes and no.
Yeah. Tell us why.
Let me start with my yes. Or let me start with no. No, because I feel like these people their lives alone is a torch. So if you see how they've been moving, it's easier for you to study it. Mm-hmm. If you're an intelligent artist, you can actually make similar moves and win. Mm-hmm. No. Or rather, yes, because I feel like times have changed. Social media has democratized access, but the fundamentals, the infrastructure is still coming from the West, and these are the 3 richest musicians in the country.
But I mean, these people, Davido literally did his tour recently, and he brought out the likes of Victoni, Moravi, and someone else, Odumodu Black. Exactly.
I'm talking about ownership.
I mean, if they are sharing their clout with these people,
is that not
them
passing the torch?
These people, what else do you want them to do?
What else?
Tell us.
Build the infrastructure, the pipeline that discovers musicians and takes them to a global stage and hone it.
But they're already bringing these people to perform with them on their own stage.
Is it kind of like what Thames is trying to do with
initiatives,
leading the vibe.
Empowerment initiatives like that. Now, artists, especially the ones, OBO has opened the record label and he's he's spotlighting different people. Wizkid has tried it before. Burna Boy, he tried it with Benson and then
Spaceship.
Yeah, he tried it with Benson. That's true. But he's still supporting Benson though.
Yes, but
calling him Baby Giant.
I need it to be a plethora of artists coming out from these big 3 because that's the legacy.
But let me ask you.
But Olamide has done it.
Let me ask.
Yes.
But let me ask
to him though. Yeah.
Do you think they owe them that?
No, they don't. But if you're talking about passing the torch, nobody's forcing you to do it.
Because I feel like having these people jumping on their songs Is it not a way of passing the torch?
And I feel like the likes of D'banj, P Square, and Two Face, who were at the top, they didn't exactly create any empowerment structure
for these people.
Davido and Wizkid.
They literally had to work for it,
and they got what they.
That was their own torch that they could pass. I mean, even these people are still in the game.
How?
They're still trying to actually still make comebacks here and there. They did what they could. I'm just saying that what we can do right now has expanded. Like
you're saying the game has changed.
Yes, times have changed. Possibilities are limitless.
Okay, now let's hope that they end up doing.
I honestly don't.
I feel like they are doing what they need to do.
Well, yes, I feel like they are trying because
that's just my opinion.
I'm not sure what the band directly did for Wizkid or David. I mean, I said directly.
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean, for me, I feel like it's a thing of. I feel like it's a thing of where these guys could see that D'banj and Two Face and they can do this, so they saw that if someone is doing this, I can also do it.
The most that we saw publicly, because we can't see what they did privately, the most we saw publicly was for them to come out and co-sign these artists. So we'd hear P Square then talk about how Wizkid
or how maybe they are the future.
Exactly. But we've seen the likes of Wizkid and Davido and Burna Boy and Olamide come out, post about people's song, tweet about people's song, jump on those features with them. Do things that they need to do.
What more?
What do you want them to do? Do you want them to cut down their destiny and say, okay, I don't want blow again, take my spotlight, shine for me?
Yeah,
there's always more to do, and that's just it. Like, there's always more to do. If the question is celebrate what they've done well. Mm-hmm. But there's always more to do. I just shared my own few cents.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, journalists.
Thank you for coming on the show with us.
Thank you so much.
It's really nice having you on our podcast.
It was
We
fun.
hope you come again. We'll invite you.
Would you?
Sure.
Thank you.
I like the town.
You like the town.
It's a different town.
Be like Chinonso and like the town.
Please. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.